Well, hello, guys. Hello. Welcome back to our Wild, the Naked Truth. Today, we're going to talk to men and women in regards to those questions that you guys have been placing on the page. Okay, so the members that we're speaking with today, well, the panelists that we're speaking with today are actually members of our page, and I'll introduce them one at a time so that way you guys can see who each person is, and we go ahead with the conversation from there. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to lots of questions and to those hard questions so we can kind of get some answers out. So thank you again. I'm going to first introduce Larisha Williams. She has been a friend of mine for over up 10 years, to the point where it's no longer a friendship, it's a sisterhood. And then I'll introduce our next guest. So here's Larisha. Hey, sis.
Hey,
You ready?
what's up? Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good. Okay, and the next person that we're going to introduce is someone that we also grew up with in the neighborhood, right? Black Jay. He's here, and he's going to speak on the behalf of men. Not all men may think like him and might not, agree with what he says, but it helps us get a better understanding from a male's perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Black Jay here. Okay.
Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
Mr. Man.
How's it going?
Good. Now, here's the thing. We have another guest, but she's having a little technical difficulties right now. So once she gets that together, she'll be introduced as well. So with us right now on this platform, I would like to ask the question that we have had on a lot of our topics, and that is one, the hard questions to be asked upon someone of the opposite sex in a relationship. And one of those questions is, why do we cheat? So let's go ahead, Larisha. What do you think? Why do women or men cheat?
I will say I believe people cheat, men and women alike, because they're not happy, they're not satisfied in the relationship that they're currently in.
So why not just leave? Why cheat?
Sometimes it depends on what's been invested in the relationship, what what you may have together.
Okay, that's a good way of looking at it. Jay, what do you think?
Jay, why are you laughing?
Um, because of course there could be hundreds of different reasons why
Right.
men or women cheat. They could be selfish. They could be looking for instant gratification. They could be um, just needing some excitement in their life. They are not prepared to have hard conversations with their partner about really wanting to have other relationships. Um,
Right.
for me, my relationship style is a little different. So there is no cheating, and we don't do lying and deceit, and it's just not something that's my relationship style is I'm polyamorous, ethically non-monogamous. So in my relationship style, we are open and honest about what it is that we want to do, what makes us happy. So as far as cheating from when I was younger, just being a young dude that was just thirsty and just running around doing too much, man. It wasn't necessarily no rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
People do certain things for release. And when you're young, you just doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? As an adult though, um, I also don't I also think that you're going to be attracted to other people. So to act as if that's not a thing is
Right.
you're not being real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it could be a million different reasons.
Do you think that cheating means that you don't love somebody? I mean, a lot of times I think like you said earlier, self-satisfaction. So if it's self-satisfaction, that doesn't mean that they no longer love an individual, or does it? Because I think a lot of times when people, it all consists of what does cheating consist of. You know, some people think cheating consists of having sex with someone. Some people think cheating could be a mental cheating or emotional cheating. So, I guess it goes according to what consists of cheating in that relationship. But it all
Agreed.
starts with a lie. It all starts with a lie. So I guess we lie to each other, one, because we fear the other person is not ready. I mean, why do you think that we lie to each other?
I don't think that they lie because they don't think the person is not ready. I mean, I would also believe that people lie about it because they don't, again, like you said earlier, selfish reasons. Like, I want to have my cake and eat it too. If I tell you what I want to do, I may not be able to keep you, and I don't want to lose you.
And Jay, you said y'all don't have any lies in your relationship, or explain a little bit how that works, because if you're not cheating and it's a non-monogamous relationship, then explain how that works.
I mean, well, ultimately, I mean, people still do, and you still can cheat. You know what I mean? Absolutely, by just being evasive and because at the end of the main thing of it is you should be able to find whatever happiness, whatever you think, whatever your happiness is, you should be able to have that, and you should be able to communicate that to your partner to say, hey, I'm interested in another person.
Right.
So would there be a reason? Would there be a reason for someone in a, because I keep getting this word wrong, polyamory, polyamory. Why would someone lie and cheat in a polyamory relationship and they don't have to?
That is a fantastic question. I don't know. I don't know why people choose, because if you have the option to be open and honest about what it is that you're looking for, I don't know why people do it, but it does happen. Some people are habitual liars. They just can't not do it. So, but for, you shouldn't. At the end of the day, I think what I've seen mostly in anybody that I thought might have been cheating in a polyamorous relationship, it was more so because they were worried. Maybe their partner wasn't as open as they might have wanted them to, and maybe they're going to get some backlash from their partners. But it really, to me, makes no sense. Like, you're going to essentially ruin all of the trust that you have by doing that. It's just the most ridiculous thing in the world, because you should be able to go to your partner and say, hey, listen, I met somebody that's interesting. I'd like to get to know them better. We're going to go out. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have something to eat. And does it take a time to grow and to get to a comfortable place with that? Of course it does. Everybody's scale is a little different. But essentially, yeah, you can essentially be honest, and you don't have to worry about lying about where you are, where you're going, who you're with. And
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jack.
No,
are there any do's and don'ts in this type of relationship? I mean, are there rules that apply or don't apply for that matter?
Don't lie. Don't lie. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your partners. That's pretty much the gist of it. Now, again, some things take a little bit more time to get used to. So you may present something to your partner that they might not be open to, and they may need to take some time to get used to the idea. As the person that you love, you give them that time to try to get comfortable with it and do the work that they need to do to get comfortable with it, and then you move on if you
can. Okay. Elle just came in, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Elle and finish this conversation, because this is getting real interesting. Okay, guys.
Cool.
Elle, hey, welcome to the conversation.
Hey guys.
Jay was just explaining to us a reason why someone would lie in a polyamorous relationship. because Larisha had asked him, why would somebody lie in that relationship, which was actually a very good question. And he basically explained it very well, in which he basically said they didn't have a better understanding in the relationship as far as what they was getting themselves into. So the question at hand that we was actually speaking on was, why do we cheat? Why do people cheat? Okay. So you want to add anything to that?
Say that
Elle?
again, Casey?
Why do
Say that
people
again for me, Casey.
why do people cheat?
Oh, why do people cheat? I think because no one really gets a clear, definitive understanding of what both sides want, and then it causes this gray area where people, I feel, men or women, and trying to find outside the things that they deserve because they're not finding it within their own relationship,
That could be
and
another
that's
good reason.
a lack of communication.
Definitely a lack of communication.
I can see that. And a lot of times, we think for each other, which is not a good way of doing things, because some women feel like they
Absolutely.
honestly are providing the man with everything that this man wants and needs, and really it's not what they actually want and need. It's more of them providing what they think that man wants and needs.
Yeah, I've definitely said that before, to people, that at the end of
This
the
is
day,
true.
if you give somebody, if someone is, it's all love languages. You have to find out your partner's love language, and you have to speak into the language that they understand. Because if you speak about, if you like I've said before, if you present your the person you've been with and they love roses, maybe your next partner don't love roses. Maybe they want you to wash the dishes. So you have to be able to speak the language of the person that you're with, and without getting to know the person to the core, you really can't. You have to get to know the person to the core of who they are, but they also have to be honest, really honest, and upfront and honest about who they are. You know what I mean? And that's how you make the communication work.
So, in a person, if they're single, how do you get to that level as far as getting to know someone? Larisha, you want to answer that?
Repeat the question. You said, how does a person get to? I mean, spending time. I mean, that's the only true way to me that you're going to get to know anyone without, listening to their words and what they're saying, is get to know them. Watch how how they talk. Watch, their body movements when they're answering certain questions, when they're around certain people. Just watching and paying attention. And like I said, just spending time with them. That's the only way to really get to know anybody.
Do you trust people in the beginning, or do you let them earn that trust?
I believe that I trust from the gate. You have to do something. I feel. I'm not saying it's right, but I feel in order to not, in order to lose that trust.
What do you think, Jay?
I don't. Go ahead.
Well, again, I'm a little more radical in how I move into new relationships. As far as trusting what someone is saying, I can hear just, at my age, of course, I've had a lot of experience. So not for nothing, I can kind of see where someone is in the things that they say and the things that we talk about, and the what they kind of care about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In regards to me, at the end of the day, if I really find somebody that I'm interested in to that degree, that I'm actually going to find the time or put this time aside to actually get to meet them and meet up with them and talk, I'm pretty honest and upfront. I'm from the gate. I don't really do a lot of representative because I don't have time to wait.
Which I don't even understand that part.
Yeah, it to me, it, you know, and I think that, and I understand that a lot of people are reserved and they don't want to give people all of themselves. And if that works for you, you know, that works for you. I'm not down on anybody. But me, I need to be who I am at all times. And guess what? If you don't like who I am, I want you to know that early, and I want you to move on and let me move on. Versus me having a representative and me showing you, oh, I'm so this and so
That's
that.
right.
I'm just going to show you who I am. And if you are with that and I can get with how you move, then we're good. But in regards to trusting people, I don't really have a lot of expectation. I don't put a lot into it to like, I hope that this person is whatever. I just like, it just is what it is. You are who you are. And we might click, we might not. Everybody that you meet is not meant to be an intimate relationship. You know what I'm saying? Some people you meet that you think you like, then you get to know them and you like, probably not relationship status for me, but could be a really good friend. So I'm really, really upfront and honest, and I give people a benefit of the doubt. And like Larisha said, until you show me something different, I'll take you at face value.
Right. What do you say, Elle? Are you frozen?
I actually agree with a lot of what Jay was just saying. Am I frozen?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just said.
Now you're going in and out.
Okay. Well, let's just work through this. I hope that you can hear most of what I have to say. I believe that when you step into a relationship, the first thing is to put down all expectations. Consider that to even being something to see, you know, because you can be the most genuine person, but the person that you're giving your genuineness to may have a representative standing in your face, and you believe that you're really dealing with somebody on your same level, and a lot of times that's not the case. So it causes this unknown for the person who's being so honest and upfront, where the other person has their own agenda. You know, the other thing is that I don't feel that we as women should talk so much. I think we should listen more, watch the actions, opposed to feeding them all of what we want, what we don't want, what we went through, what we desire, going through all our whole book, you know, the front to the book, and we know nothing about them. You know, and that's because we're being real and they're taking advantage of it. You know, so I think that if we just drop the expectations and allow things to take its course as they should, because the work is time.
Well, I think that
time clears the path of everything. You get to really know a person when you go through the thick of things. You know someone until you know someone.
Right. Well, that comes to a question that somebody's asking, in which they ask, in the absence of quotas and money, how long would you pursue a relationship? How long should it take?
Say that.
It said, in the absence of quotas and money, how long would you pursue a relationship? Like, you know, where you were speaking on, it takes time. How long? How much time do you think should create a relationship? Does it matter? Should there be a time limit to identifying if the person is right for you or not? Or, you know, should you just go with it? Anyone?
Though I feel, I mean, I don't think there is a time limit. I think you'll recognize it when you need to recognize it. Now, you know, you'll see these red flags fall. If you don't pay attention to them, then that's on you. You know, you just got to pay attention to the words in the action. If the code in the car, what do they say? If the tire in the roads don't make sense. So you just got to kind of, takes a little longer than others, but you just got to watch and listen.
That is true. I think, you know, to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, we do as women provide so much information to the point where either it can be used against us or it looks like we are already planning a wedding when we first met somebody instead of actually enjoying the relationship as it produces where it's going to
Right.
end.
Right.
And it also makes you
I
very,
know a
very
lot of ladies
vulnerable.
that do that. They have
It makes you very vulnerable as well.
mm-hmm.
Now, shouldn't
See,
we be vulnerable to men? What do you?
I
I,
mean, when you're giving,
What do you think, Jay?
no, when you're given so much in the beginning, I mean, it makes you vulnerable.
This is true.
all right. Well, all right. First of all, you have to consider you have to consider what kind of man you're dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how he's going to
Right.
handle you in most instances. So of course you shouldn't be picking the guy who clearly looks like he's could care less about your existence. But sometimes women do, and then they expect these men to be these emotional, caring dudes. So you want to try to pick. These men that you want to be vulnerable with aren't everybody. You can't do it with everybody. You can't
Right.
give everybody all
Absolutely
of
not.
yourself. No, and make no mistake about it. And just to speak to what Elle was saying about when women give them, men aren't as communicative. So you are going to have to pull some of these things out of them. That means you need to think about what you're thinking about. Like you need to be clear about the things you are listening for. So depending on the man, it depends. If you get a real man he's a hardworking man, he's taking care of his kids, his family, his kids, whatever. You could probably be genuine with this guy, and hopefully he'll be grown enough that if you're not for him, that he'll say, "Yo, we may not necessarily mesh." But
Hopefully.
hopefully, I know that's far and few between because, of course, speaking to my wife, because like I said, we are polyamorous. So in hearing how she has been when she was dating men and how the things that they would kind of do, I used to be like, what? Like dudes are doing that? So I get that you need to protect yourself, make no mistake, but you are going to run across some men that are genuine and are going to listen and are going to give you a part of themselves that is genuine, and you take it from there. And on the same token, if he's not for you, let him go. Don't keep him around. Let him do this and do these, do boyfriend
Right.
things, and
Right.
you sending mixed messages, you going out for dinners, and like, listen, like let him go too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you get caught up. Because then you find yourself one night, you like, let me call this dude, and then you in a relationship. So,
You didn't even know it was a relationship and get mad.
A relationship you didn't even ask for, right?
You didn't break
had
up.
that happen a couple times, and you in a relationship. So be careful who you give it to.
Wait, in a relationship, then had a baby, all types of crap.
Let's be like I was saying to you guys before. A lot of people's need to choose a lot better, man. People's choosers have to be working, man. You have to pick people of substance and see that they're of substance before you start really considering them for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So
I also think that you should have like more real conversations.
absolutely.
More conversations, things of substance. Does that
Right.
person feed your soul? Does he speak to your spirit? Like you have to look at it in a different level. You can't just look at it for the surface because
Right.
a lot of people are, kind of surface out. Oh, she good. Oh, she keeps a clean house. Oh, she has these check marks that I'm looking for, but you don't know who I am. You don't know my emotional facts. You know what I mean? When I'm feeling down and out, I don't necessarily cry it out, but maybe I just want to hug, and you don't even understand that. And that comes to the love language. I feel that women now are stronger than they probably ever have been, and they take that as being strong, independent, don't need. That's not true. We need that support. We need moral support. We need confirmation in our thoughts or correction in our thoughts. We know when it's tough, and I don't think that someone should have to ask for it. You know what I mean? I think it should be something that's understood and just given because it looks like that's what's needed at that moment. And I find that men, women comes to that. Men are looking for us to, some men are looking for us to kind of hug and hold and take care of them. And we're the ones that really need that cuddling sometimes, to the point of it's going to be okay and we can make this work. May we be in a true relationship or not?
Wait.
I'm just saying.
Wait, though. Wait.
I'm just saying.
The substance part, because there's a lot of women that take in men that they feel that they can fix. And that right there alone is the problem, where you take in a man, he may have some of the qualities that you're seeking, but the ones that you're not seeking, you try to change that man and get mad that he's not changing. I spent a lot of years together, have kids together, and then next thing you know, we break up. He's quick to marry the next female, and that makes women angry. I mean, I've had a lot of people speak on, men who have done them wrong and then became perfect for the next female.
Right.
No, down the way.
That's what happened to me.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But that isn't what happens in general, though, ain't it? Though that happens for everyone, because what should be happening is you should be learning from relationships of what that you do not want. So a lot of the time, if you don't put in the work and you let the relationship go, the dude is probably going to be better for the next woman, because now he kind of learned what not to do, even though he should have been paying that attention to you. Yeah, and vice versa. It happens with women too. Women level up definitely after breakups, and then so for me, and to speak to what Elle said a little while ago, right? We all need hugs, man. We all need hugs and love, yo. I'm saying this. I don't think that. If anybody knows me, you know me. But I don't think that who we are as people determines on who gets the most love from somebody. I've been through a lot in this life. I need a lot of hugs, yo. So.
but that's true. That's real, and I think we need to acknowledge that a lot of times us women, we think about ourselves and our emotional connection and what we're seeking, and we don't really think of what the men are seeking, and so that right there is where the lack of communication comes in, because we can be saying it but not in those words what we're seeking, and then next thing you know, it's being accusatory. Everybody's being accusatory, because if you're not receiving it, you're gonna think that somebody else is getting it from the mate. So we don't have those open dialogue conversations with each other to know, like Jay said, men need hugs too. They can have a bad day and they want to come home and either don't want to talk about it or either do want to talk about it. And we have a bad day, we want to talk about it, or we don't want to talk about it. But that needs to be an open conversation so that we can understand that they need hugs and we need hugs.
And I'm a rough and tough dude, yo. I can hold you up. I'm a rough and tough dude, yo. But at the end of the day, man, we all human. We all go through things and have rough days, yo. So yeah, man, love on your dudes, man. Love on your dudes, yeah. They want to be spooned too. They're not gonna say it out loud, but they want to be spooned.
You said something else, Casey, a minute ago about, them, maybe they're not wanting to talk. A lot of women, we push because we want to know. We want to know, well, what's going on? What's going on? Not right now. Oh, why don't you tell me? I want to know. Let him be. Let him be, and let him come to that moment when he's ready to tell you what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true, because we as women honestly feel that way sometimes too. But when we get that, when a man asks that question, we're eager to answer it because we don't get the communication like we want to, even if we don't feel like answering it. A lot of women cater to that when a man is interested and want those conversations, because half the time
Well,
they
yeah,
feel
because it's like, oh my God, he cares.
right. And you want to spill it all out. You want to talk about your mama,
Right.
your sister, your cousin, everybody that you have honestly been dealing with either that day or that week, depending on the last time he inquired or how your day is. It like builds up, you know. But it all kind of works out if we open up and
You
communicate
gotta
better.
not out.
But we got to give each other time to grow.
But not tell your whole story.
Yeah, that's true.
I said, but don't tell your whole story.
You know, but and honestly,
let it slowly unravel. Let it be a good gift. Slow.
But you know, I personally feel like relationships in a whole, everybody's basically predicting their relationship on what society identify their relationship should be. And that right there is the hardest part, because everybody come from different backgrounds, and they come together and trying to create a beautiful masterpiece, but they still have their background, that they have different ways of being raised. And as we spoke on this before, when you come in together in a relationship, not everybody wants the house with the white picket fence. Some people just want sex. Some people just want, a relationship. They're not seeking marriage. Some people want that open relationship.
The problem in that is that sometimes they don't know that they don't want it. And it's where you get these marriages that are failed, or these relationships that are failed. They get into these relationships or marriages, and wasn't that they weren't ready. They just and truly don't realize that they don't want it.
Right. I guess that goes to the question, why do people get married? Because sometimes it's not really out of love. Sometimes the proposal is to keep you because I had so many arguments and it was the last straw for that female to walk out that door.
That woman.
That's right. I apologize. That woman to walk out the door.
That woman.
Exactly. And that right there in itself is where a lot of problems come in. Because if you have a relationship that was failing previously, and then the answer to the relationship is marriage, that relationship is still going to be failing, even with the ring on the finger.
Right, because you're not fixing it.
Right.
Most definitely.
There's no such perfect.
Because with marriage, it's more work than a relationship. So,
see, I've never been married, but I have been proposed. I mean, who on the panel have been married before or married?
Well, I've been with my wife for 19. It'll be 19 years in October. 17. It'll be 17 married, 19 together in October.
Okay. In that 2 years, what about her identified that she was the one?
I'm gonna be honest, totally honest with you, and this is what I mean about being raw to who you are, because of course, she came along at a really interesting time, and so honestly, to be totally honest, when I saw she wasn't my wife then, but when I saw her, I kind of knew that she was kind of it, like just off of just seeing her. Then as I spent the evening getting to know her, because me and my wife met on a blind date, and getting to know her over that evening, I was like, I walked into her house, and I came home from prison, so I'd read a lot of books. I came and I walked into her house, and she had 40 books I read. All of that based on the conversation and us being really super raw with each other about what we were going through, what we've been through. And I feel like we kind of just knew from then. So for me, it ain't, there is not, like, to speak to what we said earlier, there's really no time frame. And because I'm so open, I was just raw. then we also had, so I went back to jail for a while, for about 3 months. And we actually had a chance to get to know each other through pen and paper. So we were able to have conversations that most people don't take the time to have, about the likes, the dislikes. How do you see this? How do you feel about this? Where are you strong at? Where are you weak at? Like, so our growth, and so you figure, actually, I met my wife October 21st, 2001. I was in jail 10 days later. I stayed in jail for about 108 days. I was on a parole violation, and she wrote me letters. They called me the mailman. She used to send me so many letters. So we got to know each other on a level that was just extreme, because all we had was pen and paper, because I wouldn't let her come see me. So for me, but I didn't know that. When I saw her, I knew that there was something in her that said, yo, this woman, this is a woman that I don't think I can let go. Damn near awful. You figure, I knew her 10 days. I might have seen her 3 times. I'm thinking 3 times, yo. The first night, there was another day, and like another 3 times before I went back to jail, and then we just wrote letters. So I think people really need to they need to think about what they really want to know and what really means a lot to them, and find out if the person they're trying to get to or dating is into the things that they're into. But it takes work regardless. Period.
So
And slow to figure it out.
was there any expectations that you had in meeting her, or did she have of meeting you, or even women? Do y'all have expectations when y'all are introduced or meeting men?
I mean, for me, I will definitely say
expectations. I used to have this level. Go ahead, Rish.
no, for me, I definitely will say that I expect for the man to be honest from the gate. That's what I expect.
Right.
That's my expectations, because the one thing I do not like is being led astray. I don't at all. Give me the opportunity to make that decision whether I want to rock with you like that on any level, whatever. Give me that opportunity, because you don't know. You don't know what I may say. So that one is big for me. Other than that, I mean, of course, the expectation of not being married, or not, for me, not being married. Other than that, I don't really ask questions, because, like I stated yesterday, you're gonna let me know everything I want to know by me watching you, just by me watching you. So I really don't. I don't really ask questions.
And for me, yo, I mean, you're not interviewing, you're not interviewing, but you are interviewing.
Right.
And until you really kind of like, you ask, if the person has kids, what's your kid situation? How do you handle your kids? How often you see your kids? What's going on with your baby moms? And you like,
right.
And you have to match that up with the action. And then when you see if it matches up, then you good. And if it doesn't, move out. Like,
move on.
Right. Right. Do you live with someone, but yet you calling me when you're in the car all the time, never in your house? I mean, paying attention to stuff like that.
Right.
So
exactly.
the details. Do you think as you're getting to know someone, does those expectations change?
For me, for me,
I think when you first meet,
I don't have when I am open to other relationships, I don't have expectations. Most people that I've found myself caring about in the long term were kind of really unexpected. Anytime I found myself in love over these years, it was something that just was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, I'm in love. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have those expectations. If I was to go out with somebody new, I'm just going to hang out with somebody. And even with me and my wife, she was kind of dating somebody. I was dating somebody. We weren't looking to meet nobody. We were just hanging out. Let's go hang out. But the energy was so raw that we said, yeah, we need each other. That other thing didn't matter. We need each other. And we've been together this long. So as far as expectations, I don't have a lot. You're going to show me who you are, whether it's in, you're going to show me who you are in 5 minutes. You're going to show me who you are in 5 hours. You're going to show me who you are in 5 weeks. And at some point, you're either going to continue to be in positions that we mesh in, or you're not. And if you're not to say you're a bad person, we just may be better as friends. And that doesn't make anybody a bad person.
And that's true, because sometimes you can't, it just doesn't match. I'd
like to add to that. I would like to really, Jay just said. I would like to add to what Jay just said. When, there was a time, and I'm going to be very honest, I had expectations in my relationships. And every time my expectations were so high, and I fell hard. Because you're someone to level up to what you want, not what they're about. So when I finally realized that expectations has to go out the window, and it has to be something that I just allow to happen and allow things to kind of unfold organically, that's when I realized expectations makes the relationship so much lighter. I think that's really the biggest issue, is when you have these expectations, you're expecting a host of things that may never manifest. And when they don't, you're literally just in your own mind. You just created this perfect situation because you set these high expectations for someone you never even knew, So when you don't have any expectation, it leaves it open for the relationship to open up organically. It leaves them for you to find out, like, oh, I thought I liked that, but I really like, you open to be accepting of things you never even thought you would accept, or things that you didn't like that you didn't even realize you didn't like, So I think that if you take a relationship a whole lot lighter and slow, like Jay was saying with his wife, they slowly opened up, and their relationship moved fast on a level that some people would say, but at the same token, it moved so organic because they unraveled one another with the back and forth questions. It wasn't a one-sided situation like a speed dating. I got 2 minutes, let me fill you in on my life. It was really, how about this? Or that kind of built that foundation. So I personally feel you should take expectations out of your boyfriend relationship, your husband relationship, just as you do with your girlfriends. You're not looking for an ex-girlfriend. You just want your girlfriend to be your girlfriend, right? So I think it should be the same when it comes to dealing with a opposite sex or a relationship level.
Agreed.
Well, you said something about
it keeps the blood pressure low too.
That's true. You said something about the perfect storm. A lot of people try to create perfection in their relationship because of comparison. And I know for a fact there is no such thing as perfect. No, perfect does not exist. Every relationship, even the best ones that you see on TV, Will and Jada, all of those relationships have problems. They just not visual to us because it's not meant for everybody to know what's going on in your relationship. And that's where people kind of put a lot of stress on themselves with those expectations, because like you said, the expectations block you from seeing something that you truly are missing that can connect you in the way that Jay met his wife. I don't like expectations, but I do think that there should be some form of requirements in a relationship. When you're seeking someone, even as a friend, if you don't have any form of requirements, then you're just basically open to any and everything. And then you have to top it down as time goes through. Because, I think like a requirement for me.
But I think that's a different scenario.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It is. There's a difference between expectations and requirements.
Standards. I mean, of course, we all have standards. Absolutely. Like I'm not like at the end of the day,
Right.
I'm not dating a woman. Not necessarily. I'm not necessarily dating a woman that doesn't have a job. Why don't you? But why don't you have a job? And it may be whatever reason. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
like, oh, okay, I get it why you don't have a job. So you have standards, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as going into it expecting someone to be or check boxes for you, nah. Just go into it like if you were sitting in a bar and you had some hours to kill and you was like, I'm gonna sit here at happy hour for a couple hours, just have a few drinks, watch some TV. And any kind of person sat next to you, you could talk to them for 2 hours and you would have no expectation for them to become anybody in your life. Talk to the people you're interested in the same way. Just talk to them like a regular person. And you'll find out everything you need to know pretty quickly. And it's either going to pique your interest or it's going to be like, oh, yeah, you could be my homeboy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just go with the flow, yo. Don't give too much and don't look too far into it. Like, oh, you see a dude, somebody looks good. Yeah, people can, there are a lot of attractive people that are totally horrible on the inside.
For real.
So stop looking over people
Roddy.
who are not necessarily so interesting to your eyes. Listen to how their mind works, their heart works, their soul works. These might be the people who are really going to be your soulmates. You know what I'm saying?
I think people should look into being friends before they are lovers.
Agreed.
You know, I know it's wrong, but friendship should come before love. And a lot of people, like, I know, what's his name? Steve Harvey wrote the book or whatever, where women should wait 90 days before giving up the cookie jar. So basically, friends.
I got something to say.
So
let me know when you're done. I got something to say about this 90 days.
I want you to give me done.
That's what I'm asking, because friendship.
Wait a minute.
You don't have sex with all your friends. So if you're seeking friendship, you know, that's basically the question.
Okay, look, I'm gonna try this real fast, yo.
Is that just a fact?
It doesn't.
Is that
matter.
a theory or is it factual? That's what I want to know. Like, will it make it or break it if I hold it for nothing?
Nope.
I don't think so either.
You could give it, you could give it up within 12 hours. You can give it up within 12 months. If that nigga don't like you, he's out.
That is the truth. Right after them 90 days.
That
90
is the fact.
days.
No, he said not waiting the 90 days.
90 days, 6 months.
You might not want him after 90 days.
He's waiting the 90 days. He's waiting the 90 days. And when he get it after them 90 days, everything in the book come up.
I've had an instance in my life where there was a woman who was on it like that, right? Whatever, I'm not pressed. I don't care because sex is not really my, So yeah, we went on about these 90 days, 100 days, or whatever it was. And then it was whack.
He said 100.
Then it was whack. Like, so
wait, you said it was whack?
Whack. So you think you waited 90 days?
You waited that long for nothing. You waited that long for some a whack present.
Let's reverse it though, right? On a woman's level. You wait.
It can't be whack.
Days to smash a dude and he whack. You've wasted somebody that you can't go any further with for whatever reason. Now you've wasted 90 days.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Is it only sex? Like, is sex a major deal breaker? Because you've already having sexual conversations and getting to know
someone. A significant part in a relationship.
Listen, it depends.
I mean, everybody has their do's and their don'ts. For me, I am so sorry. Yes, I want someone I can communicate with. Yes, I want someone that adores me. But yes, I want somebody who's who got it going. I'm sorry, I can't. I know I can't.
Hey, listen, don't be sorry. If that is what you require, that is what you require. I'm not
It's a
saying that it's right
requirement,
or wrong. I'm just
down.
saying that there is, I mean, the concept of 90 days, and then we're speaking on friendships. Can you still become friends as you're having sex in those 90 days?
Depending on the people. It just depends on who you talking about.
Well, isn't that what the 90 days is for, right?
Listen,
Get together and spend as much time and
Yo, there is no time frame, yo. It could be day one, and I'm
get
even
to know somebody without the sexual.
because even for me, right? I don't have to smash. You could wait. I might make you wait 6 months. You like at the end of the day. So there is no time frame. It just happens when the energy is right, and regardless of whether you give if a man is connected to you in however you are, if you give it to him on day one, he's still coming
So,
back.
Jay, everybody's eyebrow went up when you said 6 months.
I'm not pressed, yo. I don't care. I don't care. Because
so
look,
basically, at that point,
just like women,
I'm just saying. Everybody said what?
Wait, so just like women, right?
I was trying not to look obvious with
in a community, you might know dudes. There might be dudes around, and like say a barbershop situation, and chicks who walk by, and dudes, everybody be like in a frenzy, like, oh, I want to get with her. I want to get with her. Dudes go through the same thing. There are women who would like to smash me just to smash, just to say they did, and I'm not freely giving it out like that. So you're not gonna get that off on me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
right.
It might take me 6 months to figure out what you're into me for me, or I might be really horny and it might pop off. But at this age and at this time of my life, I don't really have sex fast. Period. It's not something I'm into.
Right.
I need to know a person. I need to know how you think, because all of that is what attracts me. I've ran into a lot of beautiful women in my life. So at the end of the day, beauty is good. Yeah, you're great. You're pretty. What else? Because like what happens after you're pretty? You know what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, you ain't just roll. You can't just roll up with a fat butt and a smile and expect I'm thinking just because you're pretty, I'm jumping into bed with you. It's not happening.
Right. Well, that's a good way of looking at it. So therefore, in a friendship of friends with benefits, basically, you can still have sex and it should not affect the friendship that you're building, basically.
I'm not saying that.
Good Lord. So now
like that's not.
He just said he ain't giving it up
He's
all
saying more like that's not a requirement. It's not.
I definitely don't mess with
not a necessity. Like that's not a requirement.
Women are privileged too. They think because they're pretty, you're supposed to get in the bed with them. Like,
you know, while we're speaking on sex, does it matter how many partners a female have versus a man have? Do women really care how many partners a man have? And do men really truly care how many partners a woman had sex with?
When you say partners at a time, or
I think men really care.
In the long run.
Body count.
In time.
Body count, yes. Body count.
I think men really care about that. I think men care about that. Women don't think about it. They already kind of in the back of their mind feel like they're one out of a few or many or whatever it may be. But men, if they find out that you had too many relationships, they don't want to be bothered. Because it's that cat and dog kind of mentality.
Is that
I don't know. I think men kind of look at things like, oh, she's tainted. Oh, y'all laughing?
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm gonna go last. Let me go last. Let me get myself together.
Larisha, what do you think?
I agree with L. I don't think women I've never heard a woman, my friends, homegirl, sisters, or whatever, state anything about how many women a man has had. Like, that's not a conversation piece at all. But you have heard men say to each other, brothers say to brothers, yo, dude, yo, you know she had about 50 nicks. I mean, excuse my language, but I mean, they care.
The football team and you hear all of that.
Right, like little sayings like that.
When we're in our 40s, or and I think a body count, honestly, everybody started having sex early, especially in our generation.
Whatever.
But I'm just saying,
right.
It doesn't really matter to me. I feel like body count matters.
KC.
What? Yes.
KC, we are in our 40s. If we sit down and start counting how many, or kind of hope or think we could figure out the calculation of that gentleman or that female or whomever, how many they had before you, you're going to be sick. You're going to be sick because you're going to sit here and say, they're not pure, they're not a virgin. So right. At this point of the stage, is it supposed to still matter? Or
right.
Yo, listen.
And that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at, because I think body count matters to younger guys, but I also think that sometimes older guys look at body count as well, but women don't look at the men body count because they look at the body count when they're in that relationship. How many other women are you having intimate relationships with at that time? We don't think of in the longevity of the time frame that you've had sex with, but we think about in the time frame that you're having sex with us, who are
that's you? That's a four-way.
Right. So I think that's where the difference is.
Here's my four-way. To be totally honest, right? A lot of dudes do care about body count for whatever egotistical, ridiculous reason they feel like whatever. For me, I don't care, because I'm actually not asking you what your body count is. I don't care.
Right.
As long as we enjoy each other, what difference does it make to me how many people you slept with? Because at the end of the day, whether you say 5 or 500, I won't know.
Oh.
So what difference does it make?
Right.
And I know men are like
that part.
The dudes are like, yo, like, nah, man. If she lied to you, you wouldn't know. So why would you put her in a corner to have to? And then, or if she was honest with you and transparent with you and being honest, why would you judge her based on that? As long as you are being able to give her the pleasure that she requires. So for me, I don't care what. I know what I've been through, so I don't care what you've been through. As long as you've been responsible, you are safe, you are disease free, and because of course in my lifestyle, again, my partners are free to see other men or other women or whatever the case may be. So as long as you're being responsible, I can care less about a body count. Like, that's just immature, and that's dudes whose ego, they worried about they I guess how they pleasure a woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that they have to work on, because a woman could tell you 5 or 50 or 500. At the end of the day, you'll never know. And the same thing for men. Like, dudes smash a lot from 13 to however. And if a woman judge you on that, like, dudes would be offended. But for me, it don't matter, yo. I don't care what you're doing, as long as what you're doing with me is you being responsible, and you treat me the way I want to be treated, and I feel the way I feel when we are intimate. That's it.
Listen, that right there is alone is more than enough.
I think that we should.
Go ahead, El. El?
Oh, I think that we have to come to, at a point in our life, we have to come to this place where we are not worrying about what this person thinks or what that person thinks. You gotta, it's more or less, are we going to be something? You know, are we gonna work towards some type of relationship, some kind of a me getting to know you? Are we gonna start pulling back the layers to understand what it is and what it's not, opposed to, you know, is that really a deal breaker? If that is a deal breaker, you obviously aren't for me because you're looking for Snow White, you know. So
Okay, and that's okay.
if you have, you know, kids, you already know of things that
Right. I mean, honestly, by the age of 40,
it's just so many
you
probably
already know it. Right. And at that point, you know, account doesn't even matter. And if you're basing a relationship on that, then that's one, you know, some of the reasons why some people have too many. I don't want to say standards, because that right there is the separation from standards and requirements. Because if you have a certain body count requirement, nobody's ever going to fit that requirement.
They're definitely not going to meet up. Not at 50 asking that question.
You know, so it comes to that. But
Setting yourself up for failure.
That is true. So with that being said, we are coming into the end of our hour, and this was a great conversation, and I do think that we should revamp this once again. I thank you all for watching us, and I thank you all for visiting us on this platform. And if there's any additional questions, we got like good 3 minutes that we could go ahead and give you guys if I have any questions that you want to ask. So go ahead, answer that.
Well, somebody, I mean, I see in the comments that somebody said you say that until a neighbor claim to smash your mate. Now, do you necessarily?
I think that's a whole nother show.
Do you necessarily want to pick a person in your neighborhood that everybody has got at, male or female? Probably not. But guess what? One thing is not going to happen if you choose that person. The people in that neighborhood don't smash your partner again because they already did it. So I thought that comment was funny. You know, on a whole lot of different levels, man. So to speak to that, let's reverse it right for a second. Because dudes always post stuff like this and they only looking at it from a female's point of view. How about a woman in a neighborhood that don't want to smash the dude that every woman in the neighborhood is smashed?
Ooh. How
much are you gonna care about that? Like this woman of substance who's like, yo, dude, you smashed everybody in the hood. Like, nah, I'm not interested.
Right.
I don't feel special. What are you here for?
End of the day, man, allow people the opportunity to show you who they've grown to be, because none of us are who we were when we were doing whatever we were doing. So give people the opportunity to show you who they are now, and take them as they are.
Right.
And if they still don't seem to be that to you, let them go. But I wanted to speak to that part. I thought it was funny.
But to add to that, what you bring out of someone else may not.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? You know what he may do, what he or didn't do for you, he may do for me. I may bring the best out of him or the worst.
Word to mother, yo, for real.
And that is the honest truth.
You know, so
again, we can't base our decisions on choosing a person on what they used to do as a younger version of themselves, because everybody learns a lesson or a blessing in their life. And that doesn't mean that everybody stayed the same. If you're assuming that people are the same way in the same mindset, you're the one that did not grow. Everybody else has grown. But if you're constantly accusing people of something that has happened in their past and not giving them a clean slate because you was not there through those 10 or 15 years of separation from the neighborhood, you know, because I know our neighborhood, I mean, we're all still communicating with each other. And a lot of times people thought that I was the same way, you know, when I was younger. And I'm like, I personally don't feel like I fit that description. It helped me be who I am now. I don't forget who I was, but it helped me be who I am now. But if you're holding me to that standard, then that means you yourself is still at that time frame. You yourself has not grown. You know, so as adults, we have a right. We changed. And basically that change, we can go back and be with somebody in our youthful that we was, you know, maybe attracted to, maybe wasn't even attracted to, and found attraction in that person because we've grown to being different individuals and different adults. So
Indeed.
I hope that answers the question. Okay, guys,
yeah.
is there any more questions in there? I think we kind of hit everybody's question. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this, and we'll hope to see you guys next Saturday, 7 o'clock, see what the topic of discussion will be at that time. Thank you, and you guys have a good day. Bye, guys.
Take it easy, y'all.
Bye. Love y'all.
Have a good time later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.